Hello everybody, I'm Steve and welcome to Green Side Up. Now today I'm starting to clear out to the back of the plot. I've got these three big beds that you've seen on a recent tour, 40 foot long, 13 foot wide, and then they're knocking down to the ground now to get ready for the next stage of clearing and tidying up in here. And especially this one, this is the one where my new polytunnel will be going. It's covered in fruit bushes in a minute, they all need digging up and I'm going to ditch a lot of them, or maybe give them away. We'll see what happens, and if anyone wants them they can have them. The videos yesterday and the day before, the two sewing videos, you may have noticed that my breathing was a little bit heavier on them. I've just bought a new microphone system. This thing is what I've been using all along. It's a wired mic and it just tethers me to the camera. I've got a new wireless mic. It's very sensitive and it's picked up the fact that I've got asthma, and I need to play with the settings on that, do some testing and get it right. It will work eventually with minimal breathiness, shall we say, but I'll do some more testing before I use it again. I just got it day before yesterday, super excited to have it finally, and started to use it without really testing at all. So apologies for that, but that will come right. So that's the first of the new gear that's arriving. I've got a new camera coming this week as well, hopefully. And I'm hoping that will improve the overall photographic look and of my videos, and it will make the filming of them easier so that I can produce better videos in a shorter amount of time and get more work done, and therefore more videos if you like. So that's where I'm going with that. Anyway, today I'm going to dig these up, and I just want to get them down to ground level. I'm not interested in digging the weeds up, the ground's a bit wet for that yet. Just want to get it all down to ground level. If I manage to get this one done today, I'll move on to the next one as well and see what I can get done. Okay, they'll crack on with that now. So I've now got this down to ground level where I'm happy with it for now, and I will be probably covering this or working on it throughout the winter. Now you can see I've got some boards down here. This is the rough area that my new polytunnel will take up all the way down to the end of that board and 5 foot past it, and down this side there'll be a strip of land. Fairly undecided, but got a good idea. I want to put a coal frame down there, but we'll see when we get nearer to that time. But yeah, that's where the tunnel's going. And this is down here where I had this row of currant bushes, and right over this edge I had a row of raspberries, all gone now. And there's this weed membrane in between, so this will take care of a lot of the weed actually on here. There won't be much to do. What I do need to do on this land, very difficult to see on camera, but if I hold the camera steady and still here, the land slopes from right to left, and it slopes away from the camera towards the field at the back, because just where that tree is, there's a little beck there. That's Cumbrian for stream, and the land slopes down towards that as well. And you can see on these boards here the difference in the ground. They're just roughly leveled out, and where I've got 20 centimeters off the ground there, down at that far end it's 45. So at the end of the tunnel it'll be nearer to 60, which is a 2 foot difference. So I need to do some corrective work there, and what I'm thinking is, it's a lot of work, but I think it'll be worth it at the end of the day. Where all this rubbish is piled up at the back here, this can all be moved, because that's even higher than this ground I'm stood on now, and I can dig that out, toss it on here and level this ground up, and I think it'd be worthwhile in the long run to have the level ground. It's what I want to do all over the plot. I want all my beds level. If you've got a sloping plot, and I could put this tunnel up sloping downhill, no problem, and it would work, but the beds, all the water would drain downhill, so you'd have a dry end and a wet end, and I want them all level. So that's why I'll put the work in at the start and reap the benefits later on. So up here, just as a last bit for this bit of film, this will be the end of it, going across towards those pallets. And there'll be this 12-foot gap all up here, which will be a kind of a seating and a work area. All of this, which will tie in with the big tunnel and the big shed and the next big tunnel. There we go. So I'm back inside the big tunnel again, and I've still got these little seedlings here, and those on the end of cabbage one box, they're past it. You can see they're in flower there. These red giant might pot on for later planting. Sweet peas are all through now, getting ready for next year. In their big poly pots, they're good them, and I'm really pleased how they're doing. Broad beans, they're going to need planting out in the next week or so. These are all these lettuce and rocket plants that I potted on, I don't know, was it 4 or 5 days ago, something like that, maybe a bit longer, but these are all going to be ready for going out soon as well. Cool. So I've managed to get one bed cleared today, and that's well on the way, and I'm really happy with that because that's where I want my new polytunnel to go. Still trying to get in contact with Andy on the plot next door, and I don't really want to go round the knock. He's not been a well bunny over the last few years, so I don't really want to have that social contact with him if he's not well, but I just wish he'd bloody tell me what's going on. Anyway, that's a different story. At the moment, we know lockdown's ending next week, and we know we've been in this thing for nearly a year now. It was around Christmas that we first started hearing about it in China, and in sort of small isolated incidences, and then it took off into the new year. And just before we approached the first lockdown, we had, this is in the UK, we had that mad influx of people sort of going out for that bank holiday weekend, and then the figures started to rise, and it got to a terrible stage in this country. Then we had the lockdown, and then it was relaxed in June, and figures started to rise again, and we had the tier 3, tier 2, tier 1 thing, and then we've had this month lockdown that we're in right now. Now 99% of you out there listening to me right now know exactly what's going to happen next week, is that people are going to go out and go nuts, especially the youngsters. I mean, you know, everybody wants to get out and socialise, and youngsters as such feel like they're supermen, superheroes, whatever, and untouchable, and they will go out and binge drink. Just please don't be part of it if you can help it. I've got no right to tell you what to do, but I have got the platform, so I can spout about it, and that's what I'm doing now. We've had this a couple of times already, so just don't be part of it. We've got vaccines coming in the new year, and most of the population will have had some sort of a vaccine by spring. So just stay safe, please, everybody. You know, I know people want to get out to the pub or go for a meal or go Christmas shopping. Just leave it, you know. Stay safe. You've done this mostly for a year now. A couple of months more is not going to hurt you so much, you know. And we can all look forward to a better Christmas next year with the new, better normal, hopefully. So that's it, everyone. Please just stay safe, look after yourselves and your family, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care now. Bye bye.